Hello, good morning, and welcome again. If you caught my scrap iron unboxing just a few moments ago, yeah, this is crazy, isn't it? Already, I've been awake for a few hours, and we've already got two news bursts blowing up. Yes, so this one is an interesting one. Welcome to the News Burst Live, for the Full Force podcast, with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's REBORN.com. Shout out to Justin Bell. Morning to everyone in the comments already. Finn is looking forward to being educated on who Glenda is, he says. Great face sculpt, though. We'll get to that, Finn, don't worry. Todd Bartrude, let's go. Jason Pentecost, welcome back. Cheese bags. Jeremy says, been a while. It hasn't it? And Matt says, morning. Morning back to you. Hello, Figure Six Pack. Hello, Michael G. and Fleming. Hello, everyone in the comments. Thank you for joining me this bright and early morning of Thursday, June the 15th. What are we, halfway through Yojo June? Yikes. Lots to get through today. So last night, and I've already explained this on the unboxing, so apologies if I'm repeating myself, but last night I did get to sleep very early, and I missed the fact that we unlocked Night Force Ripcord, so I completely slept through that. My bad. Now, that was great, awesome, and then obviously Emily came up and said, yeah, we're going to be revealing the next tier in the morning, aka this morning. I didn't know it was going to be about 8:30. Like, I thought I've had plenty of time. I have about an hour to get that scrap iron unboxing in, which is an absolute beauty, by the way. This guy is freaking brilliant, and yeah, well into it. And also, this guy's pretty cool as well. So anyway, that's by the by. You can go watch that later. Now we are discussing the news that the tier 2 has also been revealed today as well. So let's get into kind of like the visual representation of history and change the screen quickly for a second. Be right back. Told ya. Right then. Oh, no. Right then. We have got some stuff to go through, have we not? So first off, tier 1, like I said, was Night Force Ripcord. That was unlocked successfully last night at around about 9 something last night. I was asleep, guys. I was well away. I had dinner, and then I was probably about 7 something or 8 o'clock. I was out. I had a long day. So anyway, Nixmas Prime, did I fix his name? It's not to be fixed necessarily. I just haven't added heat to one of Scrap Iron's legs yet. No, I haven't had a chance because I've been busy throwing this together because it just happened. So Night Force Ripcord unlocked, phenomenal stuff. Obviously wouldn't have gone live last night anyway, but very happy that one was reached. Now, next up, they decided this morning to reveal the next figure, which will be Glenda, Jane Glenda Mulligan. Helicopter pilot, unlocks at 16,000 orders, currently locked at the moment. Now, there's a couple of things here that I'm a little confused actually about why it's getting so much like either hate or confusion or whatever about it. Like, I don't expect everyone to know every single variation of every single figure in the line. Obviously, that's, it's crazy. I don't. But like the fact that Glenda's, I mean, that we just had Pilot Scarlet effectively in utilizing the same homage in color and deco for Glenda in the Sky Striker HasLab, and not many people were concerned about that. No one was like going, "Oh, we don't want Pilot Scarlet, etc., etc." And I'm kind of confused as to why there's a little bit of hate going on with this figure, because one, all this does is shows us what to expect with the next Scarlet figure, does it not? This is effectively a pre-paint of the Retro Scarlet, which is pretty much on the cards, isn't it? We've got Retro Duke, Retro Scarlet, and Retro Cobra Commander coming. Those listings kind of leaked, so that's pretty obviously the case. Now, what it effectively is doing is like it's utilizing a not a relatively unknown, I would say like a pretty famous international variation of Scarlet from Argentina. And checks notes. What year was it again? It was unknown. It would have been around the late 80s, I reckon, mid to late 80s that she popped out. But effectively, yeah, Argentinian figure. It was a redeco of Scarlet, and they just called her Glenda, changed her, information, everything, made her a new character. And since then, as we've gone through the years, Glenda has popped up on numerous occasions as modern 4-inch figures. Usually, Pilot Scarlet is what they call her. They put her in the deco. There was one in the 25th, Pilot Scarlet, which was effectively Glenda, but Scarlet. So yeah, that's all you need to know at the end of the day. It was a figure variation in Argentina. That's literally what you're dealing with. Now, I was kind of excited, but at the same time, we also speculated about this on the show. We were thinking about what we could see as tiers. We were talking about the fact that, the Sky Striker, the fact that we've got Night Force Ripcord off the bat, are we likely to see other kind of things brought forward into the classified kind of series that would I've completely lost my train of thought there because a comment popped up from Paddy Lennon. Hello, Paddy. Drown us in international variants, Hasbro. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking would we get carryover from those characters from the Sky Striker HasLab? Because we technically did immediately. So I wonder if, the next one could be Wayne Ruthell, or they could do that thing that a lot of people have been kind of hinting at, the Colbert scenario. Is it Master Sergeant or Marines? I can't remember what the M stands for, but the name on the Dragonfly kind of tampo. I think that would be a cool one, and that also kind of makes you think they'd be working from scratch too. So it'd be rather than having Wayne Ruthell's kind of sort of visual representation on the box art of the Sky Striker, you'd have a free range to go nuts with that character. Now, I'm just really, I'm stoked that we're getting Glenda. This is awesome because one, it is that that homage, that international homage, which I love when they do it in the line. It's brought some amazing figures already in Tiger Force Outback, guys. I mean, come on. That's, one of the best figures in the line for me. Still up there, still well up there for me. Love that figure. So for me, it's infusing the line with more of this kind of stuff. And to me, it's great. It expands it. It makes it bigger. It gives us even more in terms of where this line could go and what kind of characters we could get. And surely it shouldn't be a case of I don't know who it is, I hate it. And more of a case of I don't know anything about this figure. I can now look and find out and study more and improve my knowledge and expand my horizons on what's available. Let's face it, not every figure is going to strike that nostalgic chord that a lot of them do. So in some cases, it's one of those things that I don't know. I find this a really interesting addition, a very cool one, and then also, like I just said, it's a friggin' pre-paint of the Retro Scarlet that's coming around the corner. So you're getting a cracking view of what Scarlet's going to look like. And they've given her, obviously, the shorter hair, which is awesome. So it's going to be, the Scarlet, Retro Scarlet's probably going to have a completely different head sculpt, hair, all that kind of good stuff. But the body is effectively going to be Scarlet. And obviously, you could probably take the pilot straps and all the gear off as well, to get a better idea of that scenario. Now, I'm not telling you should like it or not at all. I'm just kind of putting this out there as to why I'm really stoked about this. I'm not from Argentina, but it always excites me when, you kind of oh, wicked. And then, if you're not sure about, or if you're not aware of some aspect of the line, it kind of goes, oh, wicked, let's go check it out. Let's go and have a look. So I don't know. I think this is wicked, and it adds another character. It expands the G.I. Joe universe even more, and hopefully it'll get a lot more people to be kind of looking up and check out. Just go to yojo.com, guys. Check out Yojo Glenda. Type that into Google, and it probably tells you everything that is available. I'm sure at some point. Well, I know there was a Yojo Brazil. I'm not sure if there was, and that isn't available anymore. I know you can get it on what's it called? You know, that kind of like Wayback Machine type thing online. But yeah, I think that you'll still be able to find information about her. And effectively, here she, like, I'll just, you know, get an image up of the carded figure so you guys can. I should have got this up and put it in the slideshow notes as well. But you know, whole different card art, you know, completely different character, and you know, effectively it was a repaint of Scarlet. But that was a lot of what happened, you know, back then. It was always repaints of figures. It happened in the UK, didn't it? Like loads. Like we always had, you know, the Red Laser repaint of Cobra Commander, Red Jackal repaint of Destro, you know, you name it. Gaucho repaint of Gung Ho, Jammer repaint of Stalker, Stalker repaint of Snake Eyes. There's a confusing one for you. Yeah, so like, yeah, I mean, if you're like not happy with the figure, then I don't know what to tell you. But it's not going to change anything on my end. It's just a cool reveal and brilliant. I'm happy about it. It's very mixed, I would say, in the comments. Lots of people saying like you know, some people have cancelled some of their you know, what do you call it, backs. Some people are well into it. It seems to be very much a kind of 50, not one would say 50-50, but there's definitely contrasting feelings going on. A lot, yeah. She was my first choice, but I'm glad to have another unique female in the line. That is true, Chris. I've been researching this character, didn't know her before, says Joe Cam. That's awesome. Chris, I completely agree. It's great to expand the line. I like it. It's new, unique, and doesn't lock a mainline character behind the high price of the HasLab. Wait a minute, you're not from Argentina? I'm so confused, says Phoenix. Firefly's not happy. You're not happy, bud, and I feel bad that you are unhappy about it. That does upset me that you feel that it sucks for you, and I am sorry. That's all I can say about that. Obviously, like I said, these figures, you know, sometimes they hit the right notes for people, and sometimes they don't. And I like, for me, this is genuinely like cool, but again, I can understand it if it's like not everyone's cup of tea. So I totally get that. Neil, I don't hate this, but I don't like it either. Again, that's a totally rational comment, and I understand that too. Raymond says, I love that we can add the different hair head pieces, gear attachment, sorry. Yep, awesome. Glenda is my top 5 obscure wish list, says Todd. This is awesome. It's a beautiful looking figure, but it does not go with this helicopter, says Neil. Were there Irish transplants that gone to Argentina? Mulligan sounds Irish. The thing with that is they would just like, I'm going to look at the card, actually, the file card, and just read what it says. So, Glenda file card. It's written in Spanish, but it's been translated thanks to Yojo. Jane Mulligan is the file name. Serial number RG 666348210. Primary military speciality. She was a test pilot originally. Secondary was intelligence, grade E7. As a 6-year-old, she amazed all of her hometown's inhabitants when she skillfully flew one of their most sophisticated helicopters under her father's supervision. When her father heroically died, Glenda swore to continue fighting for his noble cause. Today, she is an air intelligence officer and helicopter co-pilot in high-risk missions. She is the first woman to ever become master instructor of heroic commands, or heroicos commandos, or commandos heroicos. I think it's commandos heroicos. I can't remember what it is on the card. I'll have to read the card now. Yeah, commandos heroicos. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm, you know, a few people saying they're seeing more positive than negative and stuff like that. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of kind of things, you know, underwhelmed. What else did someone say? Disappointed. I just got one on YouTube saying you're disappointed that I just saw come through. So yeah, there's definitely this one is a bit of a mixture for certain. Yeah, but I must admit I am surprised. I am surprised at the not at the lack of not knowing who it is, because that happens all the time. Like I said, I don't expect everyone to know every single international variation of a, you know, of a brand. It's just not possible with the size of GI Joe. Like yes, you can have a rough idea of everything that's come before, but keeping all that knowledge in your head, you'd have to be like a Pat Stewart or a anyway, yeah. So Glenda, and then we've got some more images of Glenda as well, because Hasbro Pulse did post these as well a little bit late, kind of after the fact. So we've got like the whole load out there. We've got different hair pieces, which is even cooler. So 2 different hair pieces, the helmet, and loads of other gear as well going on, like the kind of the straps. We've got that's a good shout. Is that the backpack and rifle for Flash? I think we've got Flash pre kind of things going on here. So we might be getting a Flash around the corner. What do you guys think? I wanted to see what Glenda came with, because I can't remember what she actually comes with. Yeah, she comes with the Flash thing anyway, so that makes a lot of sense. So that's cool. Obviously, that's a good... Obviously, they're giving her the weapons that she came with originally. But what makes me kind of go... That makes me kind of go, ooh, I wonder if they've really planned out here, and they've got like obviously, we've got the Retro Scarlet coming. That makes a lot of sense. I wonder if a Flash is around the corner as well. It wouldn't surprise me, right? And yeah, it is a pre-paint for Scarlet, so that makes a lot of sense too. This makes more sense than Quarrel. As much as I would love to see Quarrel in the line, which we might do if they're going to be doing things like this, then, and for those that don't know who Quarrel is the Palitoy Action Force version of Scarlet, repainted and given a different, backstory name and history and what have you. So you're getting all of the information today, guys. Yeah, so that's cool. I love the fact that we might be getting Flash. Headset as well. Is that headset hairpiece, or is that headset separate? It must be a headset on the hairpiece and 2 hairpieces. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. And also, yeah, that is 2 different harnesses as well. So she's getting 2 different secondary harness pieces that you can utilize. This thing's got loads of cool stuff. And spare hands. And the helmet. Holy crap. They have definitely loaded her up. Yeah, it's loads of different... That is a hairpiece with headset. 2 other separate hairpieces. A helmet. That's wicked. 2 separate like strap secondaries, a pistol, and the backpack and rifle for Flash, which effectively is what she came with as well. And then spare hands. Loads of stuff. Wicked. I think this is wicked. I think this is well good, personally. So tier 2 will unlock at 16,000 orders. There you go. I genuinely do hope we reach this, because this is a freaking awesome option. Again, I'm sorry for those that aren't happy. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry for those that aren't like happy or pleased that that they're not getting a figure they want or whatever. But I genuinely didn't think it would be a controversial choice, considering it was like I saw talk about it. I saw people talking about it like almost like it was not an expected thing, but definitely an option for them to do with the Pilot Scarlet that we'd had for the Sky Striker. So I was kind of thinking, that is definitely an option. Wayne Ruthell, aka Failsafe, is an option. I could see them, doing the entire lineup of figures we had for the Sky Striker HasLab. But I would like to, I would love to see what the third one's going to be. The third one's got to be an absolute like home run. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh yeah, that's great." I can just assume. I assume that's going to be the case, and it wouldn't surprise me also with the amount of. And yeah, that's true. No matter what you would announce, you're going to get people hating on it. Totally, I totally get that 100%. Flash and Grand Slam on the horizon with that gear, says Figure 6-pack. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where there might be a strong reaction to this, but don't forget there's another figure to come, and they usually save the best till last as well. Like, so for those that are freaking out and are like really upset about this for I don't know what reason, because to me it's still a really cool figure. It's brand new. There's loads of cool stuff with her. I don't know really what to tell you otherwise. and also you're getting a great view of what the Scarlet, what the Scarlet figure is going to look like in the retro, the body anyway. But again, it's you don't like it, but don't forget there's another figure to come. So that could be like mind blowing for a lot of people that are struggling with it at the moment. Right then, right. Oh well, okay. So there you go. We have got one tier unlocked. Tier 2 is now at 16,000 orders. So fingers crossed we can hit that and hit it soon so that we can see the next one. I've got a feeling if there is because I'm seeing a lot of hate on this one, more so than I have on any of the reveals or stuff like that. I wonder if we'll get a slowdown on this one and it wouldn't it's not going to zip up to 16k, which again does surprise me. It does surprise me, but I wonder if that's going to happen. And if so, what I would imagine they would do is getting closer to the end of the campaign. I could see them revealing the third tier before the second one's unlocked. I could see them doing that just to kind of like incentivize. But yeah, I guess it's again, I'm super stoked. I'm surprised to see the discourse on this figure genuinely, and it is a little bit like that's more of a downer than anything for me. It's like, cool guys, it's like Argentinian variation homage. It's a new character, loads of cool stuff with it. I don't know, but we'll see, I guess. That is the news this morning. Like I said, we had before we go, let's speculate, because obviously we've got another tier to talk about at 19,000 orders, and I can't remember how many, because obviously the X's do relate to the spaces, or the letters and everything for the name. Does that line up with Glenda? I can't, because I cannot remember how many. I know Adam, a friend of mine, Adam, sent me a message saying this is how many letters are in this, and I've been trying to work out who it could be. So I don't think anyone thought necessarily. Not necessarily about whether, obviously, her full file name fit into that space, because obviously I don't think anyone was looking at the full file name for Glenda. But anywho, what do we think tier 3 is going to be? Now we know that the steel core kind of background is very likely a placeholder. Does this open the door for someone like Airborne, who again has been on the card art, the box art? I could see that one, being an option. Loads of people saying Doc, and I think it has to be the stretcher kind of connection, doesn't it? Like, because how that worked with the vintage Dragonfly. I mean, is there an opportunity to have them do something that works with the current Dragonfly? Absolutely. So it's a possibility, I guess, definitely. Do we think it's going to be another troop builder? Could it be some sort of steel core variation? Could it be like a steel core gunner or a steel core pilot, something like that? What else are we thinking? General Hawk, a lot of people are saying. Tyrone Wested saying that. A lot of people saying that. I could see a lot of these. I mean, I could see Hawk, Doc. I could see those just in the main line, honestly. I could see Airborne in the main line, honestly, as well. But I guess we'll find out. Are there any other kind of options? Obviously, Colbert was the one we discussed a second ago. Wayne Ruthell's technically on the cards, with the fact that we are literally homaging the Sky Striker HasLab at the moment. I don't know. There are a lot of options, aren't there? A generic pilot for the a generic pilot for the gunner seat, says Trailblazer. Well, it doesn't have to always be Wild Bill flying it, does it? So it doesn't have to be him piloting it every time. You could have another pilot in the mix here and stick it in the pilot seat instead of Wild Bill, especially if you're getting multiples. Like, you could have, obviously, Wild Bill leading the team, and then other Dragonflies with the pilots in them, like, Glenda in one, and another generic pilot in another one. So if you're getting multiples, that could be where they're going with it. But yeah, it might be more likely that it's going to be someone, that kind of like operates the weapon systems and stuff like that. Starduster is a good shout. I'd love to see Starduster, because that would be another one that is it's not obscure, but it's definitely one of like the least kind of known in like in the US, I would say. It's not an international variant, obviously. Just a mail away, wasn't he? But I think Starduster would be a great shout, because we kind of all right, well, put it this way. We've just effectively seen a pre-paint of Retro Scarlet here, have we not? I think we all agree on that one. Could, with a Starduster, we be seeing a pre-paint or a pre-reveal of the Duke body for the Retro Duke that's around the corner? I think it could be possible. Plus, you've already got the jetpack in play. You've got lots of other stuff going on. So I think that Starduster is a good shout. And I would tell you if I knew. I wouldn't tell you, but I could tell you if I knew or not, and I have no clue. I had no clue that Glenda was going to be revealed as Tier 2. I had no clue that she was even on the cards as a character, as a figure. So that is a really cool one. I think a lot of people are expecting Airborne. Yes, Mark. I think, a lot of people are expecting Airborne in this slot. And maybe that will be another one of those things where everyone kicks off because it's not, if it's not going to be him. I think it would be a lot of disappointment if it isn't. But I think if you think of all the different options that are available to them, it just to this point becomes anything could happen. So yeah, that's another good shout, actually. Yeah, Ryan says, I've seen people disappointed with this reveal. My advice, you don't like Glenda, sell her after she ships. Someone will pay more than $25 for her. That's a very good point, actually. Action Force did have a chopper pilot figure 6-pack. Yes. That would be pretty dope. That would be very, very cool. Or they could just do the Euro/UK Tiger Force Tiger Fly pilot, which is already out. Just re-release Tiger Force Ripcord, call it Wild Bill. Stick Wild Bill's head and hat on the Ripcord Tiger Force body. Done. I'm just kidding, of course. But yeah, I like the thought of Starduster, genuinely. I think that would be a wicked one. Blades, yeah, it's the tripwire repaint, absolutely. So you could, with tripwire around the corner, you could do SAS Blades. Whew. That would probably cause more upset than Glenda, I reckon. That's the thing. Let's face it, we're gonna get Airborne at some point. If we don't get it in the HasLab, is it that much of an issue? Do you know what I mean? I would also say that with the HasLab you've got at the moment, the base, initial funding kind of thing, like the base package with Wild Bill, is phenomenal for $274. Freaking phenomenal. And then you're getting Nightforce Ripcord on top of that now. So I'm already kind of happy with that. And now getting Glenda, well, if we get Glenda unlocked, I would hope we do. But the way people are kicking off in the comments with the heated reactions, I'm thinking twice about it at the moment. Anyway, well, Darren says we should have tripwire in hand before this, so Blades wouldn't be a horrible choice. I actually read that as would be a horrible choice, Darren. It would be I think it'd be kind of fun, actually. I'd be kind of I'd enjoy that, I think. Mark II Design says, I like it. There is plenty of room in the line for more females. That's another thing. Yeah, it does add another female figure and character into the classified series, which is kind of cool. Oh, that's nice. Freefall, says Toy Bounty Hunter. Freefall's a good shout. I like Freefall. And he's one of those kind of definitely one of those, under the radar sort of characters and figures, because he didn't get much love, did he? He was in the Deke cartoon, I want to say, because it was in that like 90s era, or 89, 90, 89, 90, 91, probably 89 Freefall. But he was on the Deke series, I think. And I really do like that figure. I think that figure's wicked. Crazy Legs, guys. I do, again, a lot of these I do see as being definite mainline. Flaffle says, how can you be excited for 8 versions of Snake Eyes, 3 to 4 versions of Bats or Vipers, and not be excited about this? I don't know. Maybe it could be the female aspect. Who knows? But, you know, also the I suppose the obscure reference probably throws a lot of people off. It might be one of those slow burn things where people are like, actually, you know, given thought, change mind a little bit, and I quite like the thought of it. But you know, who knows? It's up to you at the end of the day. If you like something, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. That's really the be all and end all of it, isn't it? Tier 3 Red Ninja Satan, that would blow this up, absolutely. What makes me really happy about this, honestly, is the fact that it opens the door for other, it kind of Tiger Force Outback did a lot to open the door to say like, oh, like some cool things are available. But Tiger Force Outback, even though it was a Euro exclusive, there was a very similar figure, obviously Forastero in South America, which is effectively the same figure, just ever so slightly different plastic quality and paint, ever so slightly different paint shade difference. But like that, because that is such a iconically known figure, even throughout the US and so on and so forth, it kind of, made sense for them to do that with Tiger Force. But, and it kind of opened the doors. But I feel like Glenda has really kicked those doors wide open for these kind of like characters to kind of pop up in the classified series in the future. And that just makes me excited for things like, maybe getting like a Gaucho with that retro gung-ho figure, but with like some tools and some other cool stuff. That'd be dope. Maybe getting like, in terms of like really interesting repaint figures, like a Red Laser utilizing, maybe the Cobra Commander retro body, but then a different head sculpt to kind of really differentiate it with those kind of like eyes, across the top of the red face mask. So I think like, it kind of makes me excited that we could be seeing those kind of figures. And then I would love it if they went real deep and started doing like, SAS Eagle and, characters like that were 5-point of articulation originally. That would be kind of fun for me. Night Force Crazy Legs is not a bad shout, Darren. Again, throwing in more Night Force figures makes a lot of sense with the Walmart theme, having the Night Force kind of thing going on at the same time. So there's a possibility for that. I kind of feel like they've probably done their Night Force Ripcord. They've probably covered their Night Force quota with Ripcord, right? So I wonder if like they won't do that again because of the Walmart Night Force theme. Like they don't want to kind of take too much away from them, maybe. I don't know. Combat Colin. Oh my goodness. Now, I'd be up for that. Bisto Yeti. I'd be up for Combat Colin all day long, but I don't think many other people would. And Semi-Automatic Steve as well. That'd be such a good set, wouldn't it? If you don't know who Combat Colin and Semi-Automatic Steve are, then Google them. They're brilliant. It was a funny, like jokey backup strip for, Action Force comics and stuff. And it was brilliant. It was so cute and just classic British humor as well, just toilet humor, silly stuff for kids. It was great. Josh says, no clue who Glenda is, and I doubt she's going to be enough of a draw to pull the HasLab over the line to the next tier. Collectors have been clamoring for Doc for some time now. Yeah, but Doc will come, Josh. He will. I don't know why it has to come at certain points for people, but, like they can only do so many figures at once. Do you know what I mean? Like, and look at the amount of figures we've had. It's just a matter of being patient. That's all it is. You'll get it eventually. You know you will. Doc is up there, and he will be happening, no doubt. Will he be happening in this HasLab? Who knows? If he does, great. If he doesn't, is that the end of the world? Probably not. Not in my opinion, anyway. Ryan says Glenda has Flash's laser rifle. Will that be updated when we get classified Flash, or is that the mole to? Well, I imagine that's the mole to expect, Ryan, isn't it? That's usually the idea. They wouldn't like put it in there and then change it when it, you know, it's usually it's like that's what you're going to get with Flash, I'd imagine. In much the same way as you're looking probably at her body being the retro Scarlet one. For no real reason, I want it to be Ambush. Could you imagine Ambush in this one? So random. But again, I kind of expect Ambush to happen in the future. He'd be a good deluxe figure, wouldn't he, Ambush? Because you'd have like all of his kind of, you know, they'd probably do like a ghillie suit or something for him, which would be dope, wouldn't it? That would be a cool update to the, you know, just that kind of bit of cloth that hung over him. That would be really cool. So I think in like the roll up, you know, little mat kind of thing as well would be dope. Yeah, Combat Colin was a riot in the UK comics, definitely. Travis says Glenda is perfect. She is an actual helicopter pilot. She is better than a generic army builder, as she is an actual character. The next one will be W.S. Colbert, in my opinion. They should name him Fireball. That's a good idea. That's cool, Travis. I like that shout. Cool. Yeah, we've talked about that, Travis. We talked about the Flash rifle and laser and the Flash laser rifle and backpack. It's very likely that that's kind of like a preemptive thing. Although she did, obviously, the Glenda in the Argentinian Glenda did come with those accessories originally as well. So that's why it's happened. But also, it's nice to kind of get the thought that we might be getting Flash in the future as well. It's really kind of hard to satisfy everyone. It's a hard balance to put in obscure characters and troop build at the same time, says DJ 5ash. That's actually a very good point. I think it is, you know, you're never going to please everyone. I know I'm not sure about the year she was released, Ryan. I think, but yeah, effectively, you're not going to please everybody is the thing at the end of the day. And again, you could be angry about it, or you could just be, I don't know, satisfied at the immense the campaign you have at the moment currently. Not every single thing is going to tick boxes, though, is it? Do you know what I mean? Did every single figure tick a box for you in the His Tank campaign? I doubt it. Did every single, you know, tier tick a box for you? Probably not. Like I saw people giving loads of crap when it was like a missile launcher on the side. That's a tier. And everyone was like, no, it should be towable. It should be this, that, and the other. And it's like, there has to be an element of like, look at it from a practical point of view. You're not going to get vehicles on vehicles on vehicles in a HasLab. You'll get the main vehicle, and then you'll get like multiple other bonuses. Unfortunately, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they do something like even slightly cool and different on a HasLab, because it does end up being like, you know, it raises the expectation bar quite high. You know, I think everyone was expecting, you know, 4 figures. So they kind of did a 4-figure rollout for tiers, and they gave you all of the add-ons in the base package for this. So they kind of looked at it and thought, well, let's just do that instead. And because people seem to want figures and characters and stuff like that. And lo and behold, it's peeing everyone off anyway because of the choice of the figure that they're going for. So there is a no-win sort of situation going on all the time. What if they included Hooded Cobra Commander? Well, I think if we unlock the last one and we see what that is, and it's amazing and it blows through and it unlocks and everything, there may be another thing in the future. There may be a hidden tier around the corner that could blow everyone's socks off. You never know. But we won't know that if we don't get there, I guess. Yes, talked about the retro Scarlet pre-paint effectively, and obviously I imagine a different head sculpt and head and, you know, hair for Scarlet retro, but that is effectively the body that we're getting in it. That's effectively the retro Scarlet body we're getting. It's got to be cool. Alberto Ruiz said, yeah, Glenda was an international release in Argentina. We've covered it, Alberto, in massive detail. Yeah, she was Plastorama, Heroicos Commandos, Argentinian Scarlet repaint but also redone. I've gone through the whole file card and all that kind of stuff. Completely different character, and yeah, and so on and so forth. Two other pilots that flew choppers, Flint and Major Altitude, 90s battlecopter pilot. Ace, you could say, flew a helicopter as well, because he was in the battlecopter team as well. Interrogator randomly thrown in there as a Cobra takeover tier. MBJ, I'm completely satisfied with this. I hope it gets unlocked. Skip Campbell, yes, please. Yes, Skip would be good, Joe, definitely. That would be a 5-point of articulation Palatoy figure from the UK many moons ago. Yeah, the people are going to be upset. Agreed. Or nondescript. There'll be people that are on the fence with it. There'll be people that, are not into it. There'll be people really like it, and there'll be people that love it. It's always going to be the case. We'll see how it does. We'll see how it goes. Philly Jones says, why can't they do polls or votes, character releases, let the people decide? They've done that in the past. They've done it for Transformers. They've done it we've had a fan vote for G.I. Joe for a different deco, haven't we? So it's definitely not beyond the realms of possibility that they would do that. Sometimes they'll have a plan, though. They'll have a solid plan that they want to they want to kind of act on. And I think when it makes sense in their heads and this makes sense to them, then that's what they'll do. I think some people are mad it's not Doc or Airborne, but those are mainline figures. Neither the Hiss nor Sky Strikers included mainline figures as tier unlocks. It's a very good point, Matt. It's very likely that, the last one we'll see might be an army builder, but it'll be a generic one. It might be like an obscure character again. Who knows? But we will see, I guess. I wonder if other international characters will cause as much backlash. I don't think so. Like I said, Outback was a foreign variant, figure. I don't see, I didn't see any complaining about that. The only complaints I saw were maybe like, the ones that didn't like the original figure in the first place because it was a bit too gaudy and silly and had a big kitty on the shirt. But yeah, in general, lots of people were kind of really on board with that figure. Crazy Legs would be dope. And then, Cobra Brothers says, I think it will be a regular Crazy Legs, which opens the Night Force version to be made for Walmart. I'd be down for Crazy Legs in either flavor. And yeah, to give them the Walmart version would be fun. And I'd be down for that. I have 18 different figures on pre-order without duplicates. Be patient, y'all. It's fun to speculate about stretch goals, but if you put all your hopes on certain characters needing to be in, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's the whole thing that's definitely the whole thing there, Tyrone, about expectations. If you are full force, that's where I not name drop the whole show into the movie. They said the name of the movie in the movie. Then that's a problem, but it's a problem for you and you alone. If you're like, it's going to be this, it's definitely this is what it's going to be, then you're just going to be like, that's a shame. If you want a figure, that's different. Like, there's so many different characters I want to see. They're not all obscure, obviously. There are so many different characters I want to see, but I know that we will get them. We're going to get Doc eventually. We're going to get Airborne eventually. We're going to get Hawk. Well, we know Hawk's coming. They've name dropped him. I'm kind of surprised there haven't been many name drop reveals, because they've done so many that they've just like run out of they're like, God, we have not developing any others at the moment. We've got nothing to actually tell them. That's probably what's happened there. But yeah, I'm surprised we haven't heard any other name drop reveals, but they haven't really done a live fan stream yet. So maybe on like the last one they might do a name only reveal, but I'm surprised they haven't done them on those little pre-records, because that would be a nice little kind of filler for people to kind of like go nuts about. I do love the deep cut, says Tim. The more we discuss it here, honestly, the more I'm digging it. Already, Tim is being won over by Glenda after being disappointed initially. And I'm not saying that's going to be everyone's journey at all. And I'm not trying to convince people into anything. I'm just stating the facts of the scenario is all I'm doing. I personally think Glenda is a wicked figure, and I'm very excited to see what the tier 3 is. If people don't like it, they don't like it. I'm not changing your mind, but I have changed Tim's mind somehow because you discuss it and you talk about some other cool stuff. What are there any obscure things you guys would like to see? Let me know in the comments. What other obscurity type G.I. Joe references would you like to see in the classified series? Let me know, please. I'm definitely in a similar boat there. I was so excited when it was revealed, but after all this negativity, it's kind of killed my buzz. Yeah, I feel a little bit like down that it's getting so much. Yeah, it's definitely more like there's definitely more kind of, like I said, discourse and a little bit of hate and a little bit of disappointment in the comments than I've usually seen in in the past. And again, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to convince anyone any different. Like, if you're upset about it, you're upset about it. You can't do anything about it. What I would say is maybe just give it a moment before going totally crazy about it, and then have a think and then see what you think afterwards. But you might be in the same boat after that as well. Just trying to, I suppose, like temper the, kind of cool the vibe down, I guess, more than anything. The figure 6-pack, W.S. Colbert should be called Snacks to go along with chips and salsa. That's cute. Jocam says, now that we've talked about it and I researched her a bit, I'm okay with Glenda. Tier 3 needs to smash it, though. So there's a surprise. I'm glad, though, Joe. I'm glad that, again, you've also come to kind of be a little bit more kind of accepting of the scenario. And that's all it is, really, isn't it? It's not like you've gone from hatred to love it. It's not like you've gone in that kind of situation. It's just a case of kind of going, okay, accepted, move on. Crimson Big Boa for the 3rd tier. Why not? Lol. I like that, Jonathan. That's hilarious. A ketchup and mustard 2-pack for tier 3. Yeah, that would be fun. I like that. Matt Slaymaker is here with some logic. While I'm not a huge fan of this pick, but she may grow on me, I cannot imagine Hasbro adding figures that everyone wants to HasLab. I feel all of those will be in the main line and more obscure ones in HasLab. I assume number 4 will be a new figure going with the name of Wild Bill's co-pilot who was never made. Colbert. Matt, thank you for that comment. That's very level-headed. Appreciate that level of not going either one way or the other. That's great. But no, I appreciate that too. And yeah, that's a good shout. I think Colbert would be brilliant. And if it's something completely brand new, like Wayne Ruthell, AKA Failsafe, then I'd be really down for that. It may be more for the hardcore fans, but it is a great pick and a beautiful looking figure. I just don't get all of the hate. Now, again, like, it is what it is. Right. I think, yeah. Sorry, there's loads of comments. I'm never going to catch them all. There's so much. Oh my God, there's so many. Sorry, guys. Can't get to all of them. I'm going to have to call it a day in a moment anyway, but thank you for joining me while we've gone through this. Obviously, we've got the rest of Yojo June to enjoy as well, to end June. Yeah. What did I say the other day that was hilarious? Oh, yeah. I can't because it's kind of like spoiler for the Rise of the Beasts film. But I know I can probably say this. When the end credits roll, Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotize comes on. It's not really a spoiler, is it? So at the end, as the credits roll, it's Hypnotize comes in, which is an absolute banger of a tune, right? And I decided to change his name to Notorious B.I.G.I. Joe. Stupid, I know, but that's me. Anyway, yeah. Still, I'm still seeing people kind of disappointed. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry that you're disappointed. But for those that are really stoked about Glenda, more power to you. I'm really happy as well. Anyway, that is it, I guess. Talking Joe says, Mark says, I'm coming around to the idea of vehicle plus mainline driver per original toy, plus additional non-mainline characters, more obscure new characters or repaints. Yeah, I think that's really kind of what the vibe is, isn't it? Thanks for joining me anyway, guys, for this one. Before we do go, I'll just quickly transition. And I think that is actually, there we go. This is the final comment, isn't it? Figure six pack. We can't please everyone. That's the truth right there, isn't it, guys? Like I said, if it's one of those things where you're a little bit like, I'm not really like happy with that one or whatever, then the option is you get your Dragonfly and you sell the figure. I guess at the end of the day, there's still another unlock to go. Don't forget. So we could be seeing some amazing mega one that you really want to see at the end of that. So you know, there's that at the end of the day. I am surprised that people are cancelling orders. That does surprise me. That seems like a bit of an overreaction to what is, I don't know. The what you have as the base option there with the Dragonfly. If you're loving the Dragonfly, I don't really understand cancelling. But it's up to you. That's all. You know, if you want to do that, that's up to you. Neil Hill, I'm not changing your mind. I'm not trying to change your mind. As I said at the beginning, I feel bad for those that are disappointed with this. I'm personally happy about it. And I was explaining that, you know, it's one of those things where it doesn't necessarily have to be an absolute stormer each time. Like, you know, this is one of the things, like, you're not going to please everybody. But at the same time, like, you know, you got to take a few risks when you're doing these kind of things, and maybe throw in something that is kind of like you're not going to get elsewhere. We're not going to get Glenda elsewhere in the classified series. It's not going to be like a mainline reveal or a mainline kind of option necessarily. So it kind of makes sense in here. And also with all of the kind of history behind it, I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting and fun. But again, if it's not buzzing your berries, I'm not here to change your mind. And I'm not saying I will. But anyway, that is it for the news today on Ripcord Unlocked last night, and Tier 2 revealed as Glenda, the helicopter pilot. So there you go. That is everything. I will be back with loads more news, because it just seems to be every 20 seconds now. And so, yeah. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff still to come for Yojo June. We've got next Wednesday, the 21st, we'll have another pre-order drop. And then the 28th is another pre-order drop. So it's almost non-stop in the world of G.I. Joe and Yojo June. So with that said, let's get pushing the HasLab. Let's get it up there. Let's see what that next unlock is. And if we don't unlock it, hopefully Hasbro will show us what that last unlock is, and everyone will be back on it again. Who knows? But we'll see. What else did I want to say? Struggling at the moment to try and edit and get any time to edit the Brian Flynn interview, but that's going to come very soon. As soon as I can get it done. We've got the weekly on Saturday. Pat and I will be discussing all of the news of that week, which is ridiculous amounts of news to talk about already. And there we go. HasLab updates, all that good stuff. And then whatever we have that just happens during the week will be on it. Or during today. I imagine there'll be more news. So I just expect to see me again, unfortunately, for a lot of you. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for all of the comments. Really appreciate all the support, and really appreciate you chatting along with me when we get all this news. So have a lovely rest of your day if I don't see you before the end of it. And you know what to do after 3, you absolute cheese bags. 1, 2, 3, full force. See you later. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.